Hello, it's Fiery Grace the Gifted. I'm here with a Divine Masculine Lightworker reading. This is going to be a more unique approach to a common reading that I offer. Typically, the Lightworker reading is for all. Occasionally, it will be for the Divine Feminine, but I've only done a few for the Divine Masculine. However, I have had some requests, like several for one, which is strange. And so I feel that if several divine masculines around the globe have reached out to me about this, there are probably more who either don't know I exist yet or who just don't think to ask or haven't yet done so. So I've already blessed and shuffled. I'm going to split these decks, pull the card for the message, and we will find out what it is that the divine masculines out there who identify with being a light worker really strongly, whether that means that you've just discovered it and it sits really centered in your soul, in your being, or whether this means that this is something you've known for a long time and you're not sure how to go about doing so, or even those of you who are long-standing light workers, standing in your power in so many different ways, but maybe needing a little bit of guidance, a boost, or something to get you out of a rut. So I am feeling that there is going to be some big energy revealed here, but I will do my best to keep it short, as that was one of the things that my divine masculine in particular that I'm thinking of requested. So all right, let's get going. So the first thing we're going to look at is the theme of this energy shift, okay? Because something is taking you to a new level. Something is challenging you. Something is asking you to step up, which is probably why you were led to either seek out or, watch this message. So let's find out overall what have we been dealing with, and then overall what will we be seeing, okay? Queen of Swords. You know, I'm drawn immediately to this image. When I first started using tarot cards, I used to just lay them out one by one as they came, and in no particular order on a big open space. And so I basically would create this canvas of a story. And numerous times, it was so strange, numerous times the Queen of Swords would come out, and the very next card would be the Knight of Wands. And what I'm getting is something in you has been calling, but you did not know how to make it happen. You did not know how to go forward to actually accomplish this thing. So what is going to be revealed to allow you to make those sudden... Here's the thing though about sudden, just so you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's out of nowhere. The idea or innovation or solution may appear to come out of nowhere, but the thing is, the problem has been present for a while, which means it really wasn't out of nowhere. But the speed and dexterity in which you are going to move now is going to be astronomically different in comparison. And so you're about to receive a sort of clarity that you need, but it's going to come from an intuitive space. That's where the Queen of Swords is being represented now. So what is it we need to know about the theme of the energy? Oh, okay. This, if it's not talking about love, if it's not talking about making a commitment to a partner in order to strengthen and heal you for the next stage, which is going to involve a partnership, this could just be talking about you deciding to make a commitment. So once the thing comes through from an emotional level, perhaps from a place of where you have been weaker, where you have been unable through a lack of capacity or unable because of fear to move forward in something, now we're seeing this newfound commitment because you're ready. Their fear is not stopping you anymore. The only issue I see is that a part of me absolutely feels that this is about some sort of reunion energy, some sort of, again, powerful partnership. And I have a feeling that the reason that in my heart I feel like I also have to say the other thing is because you don't want to necessarily hear that. And I don't know why. There's a variety of reasons. It's not always just that you don't want a relationship or that you're not ready or you don't know your person, you don't have a person. There's all kinds of reasons why people avoid commitment with a human being, a human person. Okay. So, no judgment. Just know that if deep down you just got triggered and you preferred it to be about the commitment to something rather than the commitment to someone, just make sure that you check yourself and that you're not missing something, that you're not ignoring or avoiding something to make yourself feel better. This duality is going to be asking you to step outside of the zone you might have been in and into something different. Maybe you're a relationship person, meaning you've always been in them, and it's not about being in a relationship that's the problem or that's the new situation. Maybe it's about you being in a new type of relationship, one that you've never experienced before. So just be open, okay? But if this is about a commitment, then we'll approach that, both of those messages in this reading. We'll make sure to touch on it. But just be open, be honest, and be prepared, because sometimes, denial or not, they still come. All right, what do we need to know? This is the thing our guides have been trying to say to us. The people, places, things that trigger you, the signs and synchronicities, the repeating patterns in your life, but also down to your guardian angels, or if I'm a Christian, I'm a Messianic Jewish individual, but I'm basically Christian, right? And I would trust God for this. This is what God would be trying to get through to me. So whatever is in your center, the thing that really guides your intuition, this is what they've been trying to talk to you about. Self-sabotage. You have been causing issues for yourself. You have been hurting yourself. You have been expecting the worst, thereby allowing the worst in or creating the worst. You have not been able to see the positive, and so you assume there is none. Now, this might not be everything. And so you need to ask yourself, what in my life do I approach in that way? What in my life do I see is my nightmare? And you know what's funny? I just saw this character, one of my favorite characters from a show that I really enjoy. It's called New Girl. And one of the guys, his name is Nick. And if you know that show and you know Nick, you already know what I'm about to say. But one of his lines, like I guess a punchline, but not really. It was more so if he was being tortured by something. If anything made him uncomfortable, more than a little uncomfortable, he would just start screaming, "This is my nightmare. This is my nightmare." But it was never really a nightmare. It was just his nightmare. I mean, things just made him so And so I'm kind of picturing this, it doesn't always have to be serious things that cause a serious change in our life. Sometimes it can just be silliness, pettiness, stubbornness. And so check yourself. Be honest. What are the things that if it's not you maybe causing like detriment, like major horrible issues in your life, but maybe it's little things that keep you from being the person you know you're meant to be, then ask yourself, okay, what is my nightmare and why is it my nightmare? Because maybe a part of the reason why it's a recurring nightmare, something that keeps coming up in my life or annoying me, aggravating me, frustrating me, whatever, is because I'm not dealing with it. So what's the first thing we need to know about this thing? And really, this is more about the flow of time. Once our guides are able to get whatever it is that needs to come through that's causing this issue, then we'll experience this energy first because we'll start to make some sort of shift. Once this is complete, we'll move here. This could be a day and a year. This could be a year and a week. It's just about how long and how important and how big this energy is and how it's going to impact this that helps us understand how we move through it. So what's the first thing we're going to experience? Oh, dope. Okay, this I like to see because in the beginning I was seeing a lot of kind of, I won't say tough energy, but major. This I saw as hanged man energy, something that was keeping you stuck, but was also blocking other styles or types of enlightenment to flow. And now seeing that kind of made me like, oh, no. But with the Ace of Pentacles coming in, I understand why. You are actually being held back on purpose. That hanged man card, when you turn it upside down, I always say it looks like, Super Saiyan. Like it looks like someone getting this surge of power, but it's information, it's mind power. And so to see that turned over, you could think of an entrepreneur getting an innovative idea, right? Or, like when Steve Jobs or Bill Gates or whoever, whatever, that kind of thing, that moment where you first create. And that's what I'm seeing, a moment of creation, beautiful creation energy. A promising business venture, the inflow of abundance, important documents or contracts. Now, in the community that I'm in, I offer twin flame contract readings. So if you're ever interested in looking at your contract, you can also just search in YouTube, Fiery Grace Twin Flame Contract Reading. And there's a reading itself, and there's also a video that explains it. It's like what it is, what it isn't, and why you even need one at all. Long story short, the reason I bring it up is to say that you may have what some people call a soul contract. I don't really agree with that because I believe that, the mission might have been created, meaning whatever brought us here might have been something that was, drawn up and it wasn't just random. But we also were not just chosen at random, nor do I believe we were just like, not all of us, maybe some of us, but most of us were not just kind of created to do this mission. Most of us were already in some form of existence and were brought forth. And I believe that it was almost kind of like was that like paying tribute? Like I believe that we signed up for our missions. I believe we saw it and said, in spite of the challenges, in spite of all the struggle I might go through, I am the best warrior for that job. And so you may have done the same thing. You may have chosen this thing, this mission, this life, this experience. And if that's the case, you're being brought to task. They're saying to you, listen, what you've always dreamed of, what you've always wanted, what you've always needed is right here. It's ahead. It's right there. But you need to fulfill your contract in order to do it. So this is interesting. So once you deal with this is the beginning, the initiation energy, which to me now says that we really are leaving this behind. Because number 9 and 10 energies can kind of be like the end of something. And so this is good to see that there now, to see this here. And this is going to bring about a completion and a new beginning. Okay, 1 plus 9 is 10, 1 and 0, the initiation of the new start. So once that happens, then what can we expect? Oh, okay. See, this is where, okay, sorry. Nope, don't start, Grace. Remember, focus. It's the 4 of Wands. And look at this. 2 of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, 4 of Wands. If you're new to tarot, just know that over all time, the Rider-Waite meanings, which is the same thing that this deck is created to kind of mimic, these are some dope freaking cards. These are primo. And so I want you to know that the fact that they're coming up, but the fact that they are also so, look at this. Queen of Swords and 9 of Swords is 10 of Swords together. We're ending a cycle of ego. We see 2 of Cups and 4 of Wands, which are 2 of the most beautiful cards meant to signify commitment and partnership, long-term, I see power couple energy. The fact that the Ace of Pentacles, I mean, this is major, is all I'm trying to say to you. And what's crazy is we don't have a single major arcana card. Okay, we've got all court cards. Wow. I just realized we've got all the suits. It's like a rebalancing. It's the Magician. Here We have, I was about to say, cups, diamonds, spades, and clubs, but it's wands, cups, swords, pentacles. And then here we have the Queen of Swords, the initiator energy. And to me, I see it for some reason more the magician, but it's the intuitive magician energy. This is crazy and amazing, and I'm really excited. Okay. All I'm going to tell you, just look at these cards. First, we have, okay, we already saw that. Now, contentment, peace, abundance, a happy home life, the successful completion of a project. I have a very strong feeling. Matter of fact, that's 1 and 4, that's 14. It's also 5. There's a change energy happening, but it's leading me to see that the delta of change on the chest of the temperance angel. I think it might be Gabriel, I can't remember. But there's this angel that has 2 cups. Oh, wow, wow. Pouring between. The energy flow never ends. It's like, to me, it's one of the most beautiful cards that could symbolize God in the deck. Constant toe in the water, constant connection. It's a conduit energy. Very, very powerful. So all I'm saying is, if you're willing to make, this is insane. I'm so glad I shuffled on camera because I feel like the divine masculines, the part of me that's skeptical in readings, I think is my masculine side. I'm very logical. So I can only imagine, like, if I just like laid these out, you would have been like, sure, this wasn't contrived at all. You know what I mean? But this is so cool because it's not. Okay, sorry. Not going to get crazy. My whole point is to see this start and then to see this, very powerful. This could also represent a portal. You can even kind of see that portal energy in it. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible. And the fact that you've got everything on the table, like the magician card, I don't know. I just have a strong feeling this is going to be really, really good time for you. All right. So what does that mean then? What does it mean for what's actually being healed within us? What was broken or what needed? Oh, the 5 of Swords. You notice how up top all we've got is swords energy? Now that's going to end here because, I mean, unless these cards happen to, like, this maybe has a sword in it, but all the major cards that would show us that are typical tarot card decks, top energy, past energy, what we've been dealing with, what's coming to a head right now is swords. To me, this is an indication, especially seeing, let me tell you what this adds up to. And whenever I see the same suit, okay, because now arrows here is swords. We've got air, arrows, and swords all represent the same thing, swords. Thinking, communication, or conflict, power. But when I see anything all together in the same suit, what I typically will say is, okay, let's add that up because that's really pointing us to a major arcana energy. Now, I already felt that here with that Hanged Man, that 12. But when you add this all together, not only do you get 10, okay, with the 10 of Swords, ego, but then you also get 15 when you add the 5, which in this deck, the 15 is, in this deck, it's called the devil. In this deck, it's called ego. And so I'm just telling you, there's going to be a part of you as you watch this. I wouldn't be surprised if what I have to say right now is so that you won't click off the reading, not because you're not enjoying it, but because of the triggers. There's a part of you, an old part of you, that still isn't going to want to hear this message. But the new part of you knows what's required of you. And I know any divine feminines who are watching this right now are probably freaking out. And I will say this, there's probably divine feminines out there who already told you this and this. And if you've already heard this message and it was dropped in kind of bitter waters, unfertile ground, whatever you want to call it, it makes you even more unlikely to believe it. But it's right there. Yay. This is wild. This isn't what I was expecting at all. I really wasn't. But okay. So 5 of Swords. Now, in this deck, this is the Medicine Woman Tarot. And this, it has these beautiful little, like, native sayings that I really appreciate. And so I always like to make sure I read both of these. The Suit of Arrows, 5. Notice the needs of others. This is an interesting card, actually. Oh, balance. On the Justice, on 11. Okay, this is wild. All right, focus, Grace. There's too many syncs and signs. I can't keep up. This is somebody who's eating and has all this stuff to themselves, but everyone around them is hungry or not being able to eat as, well, eating good. We all want to be able to feed our brethren. We all want to be able to, provide. And I think that a part of you started to block out the needs of others because you knew that you were not able to fulfill them in whatever position you were in, whether that meant just straight up financially you couldn't, or maybe if you had some weird, like you could financially, but you had this weird like trust thing. There's lots of reasons why people who do have money or do have resources don't share them. And so it doesn't always just have to be, oh, you're greedy or you're stingy. It could be issues, compulsions, complexes, all kinds of things that cause that. But this card also, when we're talking about just general, what it usually means, is a card of bad motivation, false motives. And so not only did you were kind of self-centered. And again, it might have been to keep yourself from noticing people on purpose so that you wouldn't feel bad because deep down you really want to provide for them. Or it could have been because the ego wouldn't allow you to see, kind of put on ego colored glasses, if you will. And so now we're seeing this need to notice the needs of others is not going away. So what is it that we need to know about the next card, the next energy? See, if you don't know tarot, but I know any divine feminine watching this right now is going to freak out. Freak. 10 of Cups. You know how I talked about this card and talked about this card and I talked about this card? The 10 of Cups is another one of them. In this deck, the main official deck, the Rider-Waite, it's the only card with a rainbow on it. And it's the most beautiful, idyllic life. I mean, look at this. This isn't so bad. Look at how happy they are. They look like the Flintstones in Hawaii. I don't know why that's what I'm seeing. It's like, because it's like ancient love. Now, I will say this. 5 and 10, we just talked about ego, okay? So be careful that your ego doesn't block this. That's very important. But once we start to notice the needs of others, we realize that there's two types of cards that are like this. There's the 10 of Cups, and then there's the 10 of Pentacles. I always say that the 10 of Cups is like the base foundation level, and that the 10 of Pentacles is the level up that involves money and spiritual prosperity. And so it's very interesting that the 10 of Cups comes up and says that when you notice the needs of others, you need to realize that it's not always going to be pentacles, like practical world, material world, financial, business, career. Well, it's not always going to be about that type of joy. 10 of Cups talks about just being able to be happy, bruh. Just being able to be happy. But let's read. Hold on. What does it say? 10 of Bowls, celebrate the goodness in all. I think that once you commit to a more balanced life, there is a hardness that I was sensing here. Once you commit to this more balanced version of life, you will start to be able to appreciate the sweet stuff. Again, the stop and smell the roses. Instead of the ego-colored glasses, you've taken those off and now you can just breathe. And the 10 of Cups in the Rider-Waite is literally them like out on farmland. They don't have anything but each other and a rainbow, and they're dancing around happy and everyone's joyful. The 10 of Pentacles, the next level up, is beautiful, bountiful. The difference is the 10 of Pentacles is it's a kingdom. It's not a farmhouse in the middle of nowhere. It's helping everyone. Being able to be in a position to help everyone. Being the person that knows how to flip it and turn it into something greater. That is what that's about. But that's not all you need. And if you don't have this first, you'll never enjoy it. So, final wrap up for the reading. What is it that people need from you? Like truly right now, what have they been needing and how are you going to make that happen? Love and nurture your body. It's time to start taking better care of yourself. And I got guy friends when we were in college that would work out like crazy, but then they ate like crap. And then I had guy friends that ate really well, like were even like dang near vegan, but then they didn't work out. They were just kind of like bleh, whatever, like skinny fat, And again, that's just talking about physical, right? That's just body. But this could also be saying, first of all, the fact that it's a palm with a heart makes me, and then that's, but anyways, this could also be saying just to be kinder to yourself, getting rest. This could be talking about not just eating, well for a diet or to look good, but eating well to feel good, because good food makes you feel better. This could be talking about all different aspects, using better soap, not using toxic chemicals, hygiene more frequent or less frequent or whatever. things that maybe you've already kind of had on your mind, or things that you know that you should have been doing better. This is always do your best. There's good, better, best. Your job is to keep rising up, leveling up. Now, what's funny is I believe this is also going to be an always do your best card. This deck has 4 different types of energies, and I think it's going to say a continuation, which rarely happens. So let's see. What is it that you need to do? And well, I think this is more so something that's going to cause something. What is it we need to know? Surrender and let go of the past. I think as you treat yourself better and get more in the now and in the moment and start to feel good, you'll be able to do this. Surrender and let go. Whatever life takes away from you, let it go. When you surrender and let go of the past, you allow yourself to be fully alive in the moment. Letting go of the past means that you can enjoy the dream that is happening right now. Now, the fact that we talked so much about nightmares in the beginning, screenshot that. That is wild. Oh my gosh. Okay. Good to know. All right. Now, what is it that we need to know about attracting the most good in our life right now? I want continual, joyous growth. Okay. Again, it's almost like she's growing the leaves for these what are they called? Skirts. There we go. Couldn't say skirt. So and it's number 31. I get the sense of all day, every day, 24/7, 28, 30, 31 days a year or a month, that it's like every moment of life as I take better care of myself, as I let go of things and I get to enjoy the moment, and as I get to appreciate my growth and find joy in it, I start to attract beautiful things. So it sounds like you wanted growth, but maybe not. Like you wanted gains, but you were just getting water weight, but you weren't actually getting what it, I'm sorry, not real muscle mass or bulk or whatever you want to call it. So we see, now this is interesting because I'm pretty sure, look at this. It's like this person's, whatchamacallit, bloomed. They were growing it and then they got to experience the blooming. It's like we didn't get to see their face before. But this is about you. I think a part of this was about growing from your intuition, and now this is also about your mind. This is amazing, amazing, amazing. My goal of happiness is important enough. That's the message here. You're healing from this. So this is interesting. As you start to see people for who they are and the fact that they need things, and as you start to see that sometimes being able to provide just a helping hand, a smiling face, a kind word, a listening ear can be more than providing people with money or whatever money could buy. And now you're starting to also see for yourself that as you grow, you'll realize, oh, being happy is just as a beautiful goal of anything else, and it's important enough. The reason you're not conscious of any specific pre-birth goals is because there were no specific goals. You had before birth general intentions such as being happy, being an uplifter, having continuing growth, but the specific process to achieve those things are up to you to decide here and now. In this time, you are the creator. So I think as you recognize your power to create, you have a very powerful mission that you happily achieve, successfully achieve. And as you go forward, you realize that your only goal, I do believe we have one, which is the mission itself, achieve the mission. But along the way, there were no specific requirements. I don't care how you get there. I want to see the results. That's how I feel that God spoke to us when it was time to go, when it was time to be born and come into this place. And as we got further away from heaven, we would lose more and more of our memory of what was. And as we got older and older, we would remember in the now, what we were supposed to be doing. It would just come to us like breadcrumbs or something pulling on our heart. And now as you start to try to seek out just general happiness and joy, you move forward in a way that allows you to feel happy and content as you are. It's unreal. It's like through finding your happiness, not just doing what makes you feel good. There's a difference. Doing what brings you a deep level, a deep sense of joy that can't be taken from you if you lose money or lose something, or no, it's just a part of you. In that process, your mission is revealed. So what is it that you need to know? There was a blessing on you, and these blessings are saying, hey, you've got a blessing, but I think it's also saying, hey, listen, there's a blessing on you for a reason. It's because you needed it. So what is it that you needed before? Jeez Louise, a blessing for solace and hope. Look how sad you were. You looked so sad. Look at all blue. I'm blue. All right, I'm done. So sadness through the change, holding on to the past, not being willing to let go, not being able to grow, not taking good care of yourself in all ways, okay? Mind, body, soul, having so much ego leading you, you just needed hope because you were straight up in the dark and you did not feel comfortable. What is the blessing now? Okay, all right, I'm sorry. It's a blessing to heal a relationship. In the end, the truth is, and I know the truth hurts, but in the end, the truth is there's someone out there that right now is ready for you just as you are ready for them. Maybe that's who this is. Maybe you had to grow, but you couldn't see them for who they were. They were just there to help you grow. And now you get to enjoy them like a freshly blossomed, bloomed, whatever you want to call it, rose. This is about you having partnerships, relationships, bonds. This is about you expanding, learning to love. And this is about most likely one very, very special and important person. I do not, when I do lightworker readings for divine feminines and general, I will not talk about relationships unless I'm forced to. Come on. Four of Wands, 10 of Cups, and a blessing to heal a relationship. What the most important thing to you is going to be this pentacle right here. But the way you're going to achieve it is having a partner that stands by your side and that's worth it all. Someone that can help you here, not by bossing you around, nagging. No, someone who knows and who can say to you when you're like, I don't know, I'm unsure, blah, 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 whatever comes up in the fear or in the worry or in the overthinking or whatever, someone who can stand by you and know you and be trustworthy and say to you, you got this, or you need to go that way, go. And someone for you to truly protect with all that you are, to provide for in all that you are, the things that deep down you want to do, and you will be nurtured in return to have the strength to continue on that. It's a love reading in the end. Your light work is asking you to partner up. You can't do it alone anymore. Oh man, I'm sorry. I already feel the pushback a little bit, but I know the divine feminines out there, they love you. And if you really do have a partner, someone who was made for you, they're there. Like they're out there for you, dude. They are probably waiting on you. Okay. You know what's crazy too? Look at this. All these we gotta let go of the past and what we think about I'm assuming has to be the relationships. It has to be. This is wild. Commit to something right now. If it's not going to be a person, commit to a life that will allow you to have partner in a life that you can be proud of to invite someone into. Okay, that'll be the final message. Leave the ego behind. Do your best, and know that you've got blessings on you to help you through no matter what you go through and no matter what you decide. I believe in my heart deep down that God will guide you exactly where you're supposed to go. All right, I'm out of here. Oh, if you're new to my channel, what's up? Welcome. I'm Fiery Grace the Gifted. I'm an intuitive life strategist here on YouTube. I offer all kinds of different ways to connect with me, but the best way for those of you who just aren't able to do so, check out my YouTube channel, check out my older videos. My videos are timeless unless there's like a specific date on there. And even then, if you find something from the past that seems to resonate, either it's a new energy wave for you, and it was just, you got really lucky that I did a reading that was going to coincide with your future energies, or go to your camera roll, go to your text messages, go back to the date of that reading to see what was going on there, because you might be being drawn back to a moment to get clarity on something for the present. So there's all kinds of different ways for us to connect. And I love, love, love being able to offer things like this, which is one of my Lightworker sessions. You can check out my website, thefierygrace@gmail.com. That's my email. Thefierygrace@gmail.com is my email. My website is thefierygrace.com. And when you visit there, you can check out all the different services that I offer. You can also look into some of the different pages on the site and get to know me and learn a little bit more about how and why I do what I do. You can email me if you've got questions about booking, if you need to vent, release some things, share anything, especially stories about union and relationships. My divine feminine viewers will always love to hear those things. And you can also send me an email if you're curious about my booking process and like to hear back pretty quickly, well, aka immediately. Just send me an email. It could even be blank. I don't spam. I won't reply to you other than the auto reply if you just send an email saying looking for the auto reply. So I accept PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo. And again, I have all kinds of different services. And as a matter of fact, you know, it's interesting. I have a sale going on. I extended it and I doubled the discount. So if you're interested, I have a divine masculine sale going on right now but it's really where all my readings about divine masculines are on sale. But you can also work with my divine masculine and most of our services where we work together are also on sale, which that is going to be, if anybody's been looking for a discount there to be able to work with both of us, this is the time, because 22% off is dope, 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 dope. All right, so I love you. I wish you peace as you journey through this. And I pray that you're open to receive all the good that God has for you, especially if there is a person that was made for you, just out of you, from your essence, split between the two of you and put into a masculine and a feminine energy, whatever you want to see it or call it. I hope that you're open to it because it's coming. All right. I love you. I'll talk to you later. Peace.